How's it going, everyone? This is Mike, Gray 1951, and tonight the gray is reflected in my shirt as well as my beard and my hair. So we're just gray all over tonight, folks. Anyway, I'm back to do episode 8 of Genre Files, which is a project that some of us are doing. We pick out a genre of film each week and pick out one film in that category, and we talk about it. So tonight we're having rum and Coke in a Coke glass. Good way to start the weekend. So anyway, happy Friday night. I need to get this done. This is it's getting close to 9 o'clock. You're going to hear the clock ring in a few minutes here if I don't get this done. So anyway, episode 8 of Genre Files. This week we are doing crime/courtroom drama. And the film that I've chosen, it's just strictly a crime story, and nobody goes to court in this one. And I've taken it from this collector's set, Forgotten Noir, Series 1. Now, these were put out by VCI Video in the last 10 years or so, and I think there may be 8 or 10 volumes of this. I only have the first one, and I wouldn't mind getting the rest of them because they specialize in these low-budget, obscure, poverty row films that you probably wouldn't get to see otherwise. And I think these are so much fun. You discover all kinds of cool things when you watch these. Anyway, so each volume has 3 DVDs, and each DVD is a double feature, okay? So the one I've chosen is on this one. It's called Lone Shark. Lone Shark, made in 1952, starring George Raft, who was kind of a legendary gangster actor all the way from the 1930s, and he kept working up until, wow, he was working through the 60s and 70s, and I think he died in something like, wow, I'm not sure when he died. That's terrible. I really don't know. I think he died in 1980. I believe he died in 1980. I'm not sure. Anyway, a great actor. George Raft was kind of a one-note actor. He had the range of emotions from A to B. He seemed like he walked through most of his pictures wearing pretty much the same clothes and had the same voice inflection no matter what he was doing. And not really a great actor, but just a cool guy and very, very popular in Hollywood. Very big star for a long time. And he also was supposed to be, he was the first one selected to work in The Maltese Falcon in 1941. And was, of course, turned it down. And that gave Humphrey Bogart a chance to work in the film that really made him a major star. And a couple of years later, he turned down Casablanca. I always pronounce that about 5 different ways. Casablanca, starring Humphrey Bogart. He turned that film down as well, and I really can't imagine George Raft or anybody else doing that besides Humphrey Bogart, who really was a much better actor, had a much wider range as an actor than George Raft. But George Raft is cool. I like him a lot. So in this film, made in 1952, George Raft plays a guy named Joe Gargan, who has just gotten out of prison. He here goes the clock. Sorry, it's 9 o'clock. So it's going to make a lot of noise. Just get used to it. Accept it. Right? So Joe Gargan has just gotten out of prison, where he did a stretch of 3 years for assault. And now he wants to get back and lead a normal life, get a job. He's going to be living with his sister and her husband. The husband happens to work in a tire company in Los Angeles, and he's going to try to get Joe a job. Well, there's something going on at the tire factory, as well as some of the other plants in town, where these loan sharks are moving in and encouraging some of the workers there to get money quickly because everybody has bills to pay and they're trying to survive. And of course, they charge them outrageous percentages to pay the loans back. And if these guys fall behind, then they get beat up, and it's just, extortion. And so anyway, so Joe goes to apply for a job, and because of his background, he's had a variety of jobs in life, and he's done some prison time. The people who run the tire company want him to go underground and try to infiltrate the loan sharks and find out who is running this whole operation, and try to get the whole thing to be stopped, right? Get these people arrested and convicted. Joe turns them down because he just wants to have a quiet, normal life. Well, his brother-in-law is killed by these people because he got behind on his payments. So Joe decides to go ahead and accept this offer, and he goes underground and gets in with the company and becomes a big wheel in the company. And of course, all the people who, like his sister and a woman that he met through his sister that he started to fall in love with, they all see him as being a bad guy and they turn against him. So Joe is trying to persevere and do what he thinks is right to stop this loan shark company. So that's the gist of the story. Now, this is also classified by my film noir encyclopedia as being a film noir. So it has kind of an interesting approach in that it's a very straightforward story, but in the beginning and also toward the end, the film noir lighting, where it has the light and the shadow and the kind of darkness following somebody down the street, it is very much played out. The film opens up with a man coming down out of a seedy-looking apartment building, walking down a dark city street with rain coming down, and he's being followed by a couple of other guys. So of course he starts running, and he's caught and he's beat up. And the whole thing is shot. The cinematography in this very low budget film is absolutely beautiful. It's surprisingly beautiful for such a cheap movie. The movie itself only cost $250,000 to make. George Raft had 25% of the profits, which turned out that he had 25% of nothing because it didn't make money. So, and then at the end, the climax is done in a theater, an actual location, and again, the lighting just becomes very, very striking and very symbolic with all the light and the brightness and the shadows, and it's really beautiful to look at. Even though the story itself is not, well, really, basically this is a very low budget, what they would call a programmer or B film, and there are no big surprises in the film at all. It's just it's all done in 79 minutes, and it just sort of goes on its way like a lot of other, so-called thrillers of the time. Very enjoyable to watch, and a lot of good actors in it. There's an actress named Dorothy Hart who's very attractive, who actually replaced Gail Russell, one of the major stars at Paramount during the 1940s. She was supposed to be in this film, but she was replaced because of her personal difficulties and her alcoholism. She couldn't function in this film, so they replaced her with another lesser-known actress. Another one of the actors who has a small part is Russell Johnson, a very young Russell Johnson, who of course went on to do a lot of B films and science fiction films in the 50s, and then later on was known as the Professor in Gilligan's Island. And it's just kind of a cool movie to watch, and it's interesting because, like a lot of the films that were being made, not only at low-budget studios, but at the bigger studios as well, in the late 40s and early 50s, a lot of it was shot on location in and around Los Angeles, which is a great place to make a thriller and a film noir. And they use the tire company in the film is actually they use the Goodyear Tire Company in LA. So they go inside the plant, they show the machinery. It's all very believable, and it all has a lot of authenticity to it. And it's kind of interesting to see, a great actor named like George Raft dressed up in work clothes and running machines and all that. And it's just it's a very cool movie. It has a little bit of violence in it, but it's not, it's kind of it's not necessarily graphic, but it's kind of well done. George Raft bumps off two guys in this movie. The first guy that he bumps off, it happens to be in a laundry, which is also done in an on-location setting. Part of what they do, the loan sharks set up this business. It's an authentic business so that they can infiltrate the lives of housewives and extort money from them as well. Right? Housewives who need money to pay their bills, borrowing money from the people who run the laundry, and then not being able to pay it back. So anyway, George Raft is set up as the manager of this business, and one of the guys that he kills is actually, he knocks him out. I don't know if he actually kills him, but he does knock him out, and then he dumps him into this big vat where they steam the laundry, and he actually closes it on the guy, which is a little bit freaky. I can never figure out if this guy is actually dead or if he just wanted to lock him away. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a lot of fun. If you like obscure films, if you like George Raft, if you like film noir, take a look at talk Mike. Too much rum. That's what it does to you. Forgotten Noir, Series 1, Disc number 1, Lone Shark, 1952. That is my genre file for episode 8, and I guess I'm finished. So say whatever you like. I'd love to hear it. Thank you.